What's good, everybody? It's your brother Mad Black, the most dangerous, most toxic black male on the internet, and I'm the brother that told you not to go with those white boys down to the nation's capital, but you did it anyway, and now you're being charged with sedition. And I am black up in your face again with some more pro black commentary. So, yeah, the leader of the Proud Boys, Mr. Henry Enrique Torrio, is being charged with sedition and conspiracy for that nonsense that went down on January 6th down at the nation's capital. And, for those who don't know, Mr. Torrio was the leader of the Proud Boys organization. And when I say leader, I'm putting that in quotes. I know damn well this fool was no leader of anything. Okay, these white boys did not uh, make him an actual leader. He was only a figurehead, and they only put him there to be the crash test dummy just for situations like this. And now look what's happened. He got exactly what he deserves. He got exactly what the other members of the Proud Boys, he got exactly what they wanted to happen. He's the one that's being charged while they get to continue doing the same nonsense that they've been doing forever. Okay. And when I see situations like this happen, where you have a person of color, I think he's actually Puerto Rican, if I'm not mistaken. So that means he probably does have some black mixed in him somewhere, black and Latino. But anytime I see a situation like this where a person of color allows themselves to be the mascot for one of these white supremacist organizations or be their crash test dummy for whatever agenda that they might have, and then that person actually winds up getting in trouble, I always laugh to myself when I see it, but also it's a great reminder as to why you should not want to be one of the people put out there in front for these white agendas. Okay. And this goes across the board. This is not just for these blacks or people of color that want to support a conservative agenda, whether it be fighting the government, which is what the Proud Boys are all about. They were all about fighting the government, and basically they were a white supremacist organization masquerading as a boys' club or a men's club. That's why they got this buffoon here, Mr. Torrio, as their leader. Like I said, he was their go-to to say, "Hey, we're not really racist," even though they got all types of racist paraphernalia and signals within their organization. Uh, but they put him out there to say, "Hey, we're not racist," because hey, he's our leader. And this fool here, he even categorized himself as white. When you look up some of his transcripts and applications and whatnot. This fool actually thought he was white, but he's finding out the hard way that he's not white. Okay, because him, and I think they said that some of the lieutenants of the Proud Boys are also being charged with sedition. Now, how much you want to bet the white boys get off and this fool goes to prison? I can almost bet that he's going to get and take the brunt of all the charges. And he's going to find out truly and for real that he's not a white boy. Okay. But uh, you see a lot of this going on the conservative side. I've seen a lot of black people who claim to be conservative that they were actually defending that whole January 6th nonsense. I've seen several black people actually be charged in that insurrection on January 6th, and they've got some of the harsher charges. A lot of the white people that were there did not get as harsh of a sentence. I guess the one that got the harshest sentence was that harpy that tried to break into the Capitol and got popped by that black security guard. But you know how that is. Miss Ashley Babbitt, she got the ultimate sentence. She got the death sentence for being stupid, basically. But there's plenty of conservative groups and whatnot, and I see it all the time on YouTube. People like what's their names, the Hodge twins. They pretend to be conservative and support whatever agenda white people put out there. In fact, that they actually kind of look like Mr. Torrio if you look at how they both smile, if you put them side by side, you can see they actually kind of look alike with some of their nonsense that they put out there too. They're going to wind up getting caught up if they step out of their little cave, and from doing their little YouTube videos, they're going to wind up in a very similar situation at some point. By the way, trusting white folks, but yeah, there's plenty of those guys on the conservative side. But this also applies to those who support a lot of liberal agendas. So, I've seen this happen before with, it's happening right now with Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter is basically just one big gay white liberal organization that's led by a bunch of gay black people. And they're suffering right now. They're being charged right now, right, by the federal government for fraud. And it's all coming down on these black lesbians, which they do deserve it. But if you think about it, those fools are not in control of Black Lives Matter. They were just the figureheads for it. They were just pushed out there to represent some nonsense and steer actual black people away from getting actual justice for dealing with the police. And they made tons of money off of it, bought mansions, got all types of accolades and whatnot. They push you out there like that. These organizations, these white organizations, put money behind you. But when something comes up and a crime has been committed, they let you take the fall for it. And, if I was Tamika Mallory or any of these other black liberal bootlicks, I would be very wary after I saw what happened to the people at Black Lives Matter, because they're in the same position right now. Okay, they're taking all this money to push all these liberal agendas and pushing Democratic votes and stuff like that. Don't think they'll pull out a fraud case on you and make you go to prison and just replace you with the next Negro who's just too happy to be the crash test dummy for whatever agenda is being pushed at that time. Okay, so if nothing else, let the example of Mr. Torrio be a great example for you folks out there, you black people, whether you are liberal or conservative or whatever agenda you support from white folks. Just let this be an example as to why you should not. Okay, support your own agenda. Try supporting a real black agenda for a change rather than hopping on the bandwagon of these white ones, because you see what happens. You go out there and be the mascot, and you get all the attention, and you're the fire breather, you're the standard bearer, you waving the flag, and you got your sword and shield out there to defend them. And then when real trouble shows up, all your white buddies abandon you, and then you're charged with sedition or some sort of federal crime. And I notice none of these white boys, none of these white lawyers, none of these white activists, none of these conservative activists, none of them are coming to the defense of Mr. Torrio. I wonder, none of these black buffoons either on social media, whether it be Brandon Tatum or the Hodge twins, they're not coming out to his defense either. Okay, they're just letting him go down in flames. I wonder, are they going to put together some money for his defense? Probably not. They're just going to get online and talk trash and sit there and try to be the next mascot or crash test dummy for the conservative Republican side. You folks let me know how you feel about it in the comments section. Anyway, Mad Black, and I will be back with my foot on these devils' back.